Hey guys, we'll get started in just a few seconds. AR, why don't you try talking a bit?
Talk.
Okay, May, why don't you try talking a bit?
Talk.
Hooray.
Excited, aren't we?
It's weird, like, in the past week, they've kind of gone nuts. You guys ready to go?
Yep.
Okay. Welcome to the With the Will podcast. We're here to entertain and inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, I run with the Will.
I'm AR Paul for Digimon System Restore.
And I'm May from Lost in Translation Lore.
And there's a lot to go over, and a lot that's more theorizing, because they kind of went nuts in the past week, which is it makes sense because the show's back, but it's kind of getting used to it again. And we're starting to get a lot of little things, which at this point I feel like it's obvious that they knew from moment one when they were going on delay, so stuff just wasn't announced. And now we're just getting like the tornado of stuff flying in.
Yeah, it's just a lot of little stuff too.
Yeah, and anytime I post it, I get a message from May going, "Oh, I'm such a piece of shit. I want all this stuff."
Self-control, come on.
Up and down on the self-control.
You can splurge for one nice thing.
Yeah. So
not sure how much of this is nice, but it's
to be fair, most of the low end stuff is at least nicer looking than you would expect from low end stuff.
Yeah, well, they don't usually go too cheap with this stuff.
Some of it. Let's go ahead and start with episode 5 of Adventure finally aired. It's nice to get. I won't really be able to make a good joke about that until 4 episodes have aired in a row. Episode,
Ouch.
And that will be a while. Episode 5's the Holy Digimon, and it's not quite the Koshiro episode we were expecting, I feel like.
No, and yet, I mean,
No.
Koshiro was okay.
It gave it...
I mean, I was worried it'd be an info dump, sort of just non-stop info dump to Koshiro, which he then has to info dump on the main characters. I was worried it was going to be...
We did get the
Koshiro
info...
not being present for the info dump was a little interesting.
Well, to be fair, he was.
Yeah, I suppose he was listening into most of that.
Because they went out of their way to show us that he was getting the display of Valdermon and he was hearing everything. It's weird because we did expect it to be like a Koshiro heavy episode, but he was also around for the first 3 a lot. So we kind of already know him, so this one's more...
We kind of already know him, but we got a few interesting tidbits that shine a little bit more into his personality, which is more than I can say about Taichi and Sora, because Taichi and Sora was bland as hell in this episode.
Yeah, well, to be fair, their main part was to stand around and have camera shots on them while Mimi and Matt finally have a conversation.
They really were.
We should
Taichi and Sora, which is, I mean, Agumon and Piyomon were better in this episode than Taichi and Sora were, which is a little concerning.
I should explain that for anyone who may not be aware. And we don't actually know if it was Valdermon's voice or if it's just like a voice being extended through Valdermon. But the connection, the credited name was Mysterious Voice, and it's voiced Aim and Yudo Kazama, who were the original Matt, Yamato, and Mimi.
I refer to it as the Valdermon entity.
The Mimato entity.
The Mimato entity,
yes.
There you go.
They talked more here at the same time than they did talking to each other in the original show. I'm willing to go out on a limb and say that I'm 99% sure of that.
Oh no, totally. No, it's 100%. That's been the long-running joke in the shipping community, is that Mimi and Yamato never actually engage in a conversation at any point in the first 2 seasons.
And this actually may give us a clue as to, at least vaguely, where the show was, because they clearly already recorded this around when episode 1 had aired, when they were talking about how you'd get to see them soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They usually do. They usually do the voices first, don't they? No, they usually do the animation. That's right. They do it in the animation first in Japan. That's a little backwards. And
so the big thing this episode is the info dump, which was about half the episode, I want to say.
Felt like it.
Close enough. Now, here's the problem. This is both the problem and the fun thing with the info dump, is that I don't think anything was actually a surprise from it. Like, I think that's basically what the main guesses were for what was happening.
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly what we kind of expected all along.
Yeah.
Honestly, the info dump was pretty disappointing. Like, it felt like... Well, on my blog, I went very heavy on this is basically Frontier, and this felt like an info dump from midway in, when we already know what's happening and they're just reminding us.
Yeah, see, I'm not disappointed because it's not that we know what's happening, but we're, as a group of fans, we all kind of saw this coming based on the setup. It was just more a matter of what was going to be where.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's also the same plot as 3 other seasons, so...
Yeah. But at least we do get a few pseudo-explanations that probably made a number of people happy. The first is we get a more solid explanation this time as to why Takaru and Hikari and their places are special a bit, or at least their Digimon.
Yeah.
We also get, and this is the one that I liked, where it's Cloud Continent instead of Folder.
Gotta switch it up just a little bit.
I love that so much.
Update for the modern
times.
That's
that's one of those where at first, like, it didn't click in my brain why it was Cloud until a few seconds later, and then it was like, oh, that was it's lots of bits of lore that we're not going to catch up on everything with, because it was just the info dump. I'm trying to think if anything else like super relevant was mentioned that we didn't see coming.
I found it interesting that we got shots of Cherubimon as well as Ragulmon. That was fun.
Racielmon.
Yeah, it was Racielmon. It's I didn't. The Cherubimon didn't faze me the least, because, like I said, I've been like, this is so Frontier that the Cherubimon's just part of the furniture.
Here's why I didn't get phased was that I remember all this from the special compilation. What, 2 months ago?
Was it 2 months ago? Jesus.
Or a month?
It was just after the hiatus.
Yeah. So I don't remember what my reaction at the time was, and here it's like, oh, it's that thing that I've seen 100 times, and people are excited. I'm like, why is everyone excited to do this? I'm like, oh wait, this was only in that thing, which a lot of people probably skipped.
I watched it. I just didn't realize that there was Cherubimon there until I was like, oh, there's Cherubimon there.
I remember
Cherubimon's always there.
Yeah.
I know, but what if Willis?
No.
I
can't think of any other reason he's there.
Frontier.
Angel.
I don't think these are all partner characters. I think it's that, these are the angels that protected the world, and 2 of them are now still there. And that's the wink to it.
But I mean, Fanimon and Seraphimon, they're linked to TK and Kari, so I don't know why it wouldn't be... Why it would be just 2 out of 3 would be connected to a human.
I think that's the idea, is that I think the idea is they're gone, and 2 of them were able to still be around in some fashion.
Let's put it this way: if you're going to make that a connection and tie Cherubimon to Willis and tie Racielmon to Mako, then who are we tying Valdermon and what was it, Clavis Angemon to? Like,
Scrappy Doo.
Definitely Michael. Most certainly Michael and Jesus. Rio.
Perfect.
May, you can't be on the show anymore.
I'm sorry. I will hang up and leave the call.
Just any suggestion that Rio should join the reboot means you're instantly booted from the podcast.
So, I feel like
I'm fine with Michael coming in. I like Michael.
Michael's fine. Michael doesn't have
a personality.
Michael doesn't have canon baggage.
Yoli, Miyako can come too.
Sure.
Valdemon's Valdemon is most certainly Hawkmon.
That kind of fits. Confirmed. I can work with that.
Yeah, I'd say if any of them are probably completely dead, it's probably Valdemon. I feel like the sacrifice to pass on the message means that that's the one most likely to be dead.
While we're talking about 02, which we are now, and Clavis Angemon would be the evolution from Amadimon. Yeah. Because I think one of the fantasies was like an angel Amadimon from memory. Mm-hmm. So I'm now confirming 02 characters including Lois.
Just the laziest choices. The one's a bird, so it's Miyako, and the one doesn't fit with anyone else, so we'll give it to Armadimon.
Yep, that works. It is passed.
Now, Daisuke and Ken don't worry about them.
Yeah, just stop AI.
They're not important.
Now, the only lore things that I think we didn't know, and this is interesting because earlier episodes sort of suggested the opposite, is Agumon does not remember any of that stuff very clearly.
That was interesting,
Which means he met Garurumon separately.
Oh, yeah.
Or he remembered for something of it, which is possible also. Yeah. And he also didn't remember being Omegamon, which was interesting.
Yeah, the not remembering Omegamon was interesting.
That.
Yeah, not remembering Garurumon, not remembering being where Greymon in the past, and yet still having a connection to Garurumon. I didn't consider that. I hope that makes sense in the end.
Yeah. The other one is and I feel like this sort of ties with people going, well, how will they integrate Omegamon? Is you sort of saw in Taichi's eyes, like we need to get that again. And I think that worked reasonably well. Have we talked about the lore dump enough, do you think?
I thought we've talked about it.
Yeah, it's really. Fine.
Like it's really Like the lore dump did not impress me much.
Does anyone want to talk about the spiders?
Those are some. They did a good job beating up some perfect levels. I'm kind of impressed with Greymon and Berdramon's ability
and a perfect example of why I say I do not care about the background lore is people are very upset about Dokugumon.
Why are they upset about Dokugumon?
I saw multiple people be violently upset because his profile says that he will chase down prey and stuff. And in the episode they said he'll wait by his nest or whatever it was they said.
Oh my god, people were mad about that?
Yes.
I like because
they read the lore and they actually think that the generic background profiles are like character details that are going to matter.
No, I think people I believe that people would get uppity over that, and I kind of just laugh at it. Yeah. No, I like that Piyomon had some background details and that she was able to be a bit of a plot explainer instead of Tentomon for once.
I was disappointed that we all got almost none of that from Tentomon.
Yeah, Tentomon he played off of Koshiro well. I don't know if we had a whole lot of interesting things for him and him alone. I don't really expect that from Digimon characters though, so no points off for that.
I'm trying to think of how to react to, because it normally is Tentomon who does most of that stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like we should have heard his voice over the Digivice even though he wasn't there. And still no sequence for Piyomon, which I still think we didn't get enough of her last week evolving. We definitely got enough of Tentomon though.
Yeah, Tentomon got a...
He grows arms. Swole arm.
I liked his sequence, and actually seeing Kabuterimon, like, in my memory, it's always just he evolves, and then Kabuterimon just sort of floats in the same place. Like, he was moving around a lot this time, and I, like, in my memory, I don't remember him doing that all that much, which it was nice to see, though.
Yeah, no, it was Kabuterimon.
And then we got to see Tsundere Koshiro.
Oh, yeah. That's the kind of character that I have been desperately missing from this series. So, like, that little stuff like that is just to be treasured, because this series doesn't do enough of it.
I'd say up and down on if it does enough of it, because you can never have enough of that type of stuff.
No, I mean, eventually we should learn about these kids having flaws, but that if they're saving that, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But the kids need to be doing something interesting instead of having flaws. And Koshiro kind of did that. Almost, sort of.
And then we got not much this time, but Ogrmon's back, and how nice it is that it's his original voice actor.
Yeah, that's fun. That's cool.
Yeah, and the only question then is going to be is who's going to end up voicing Devimon, because, well, his voice actor passed a long, long time ago, and I think the last time he was properly voiced was it the PSP game?
Yeah.
And that was Aim's husband.
Oh,
so it may very well be him. Although I don't think they were married at the time, though. But yeah, so if they stick with who they have, it would be Mr. Aim, whose name I don't remember. How does everyone feel about the animation this time? It was fine again, I think.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Like, I mean, I know a lot of people complaining about it, but I don't really care that much.
I don't think anything is worse than what we expected.
Right. We have a low bar. We have an extremely low bar for our animation here.
Now, here's the thing. There were two things below the bar, though. One, I don't care if Bandai doesn't know how to spell. Someone fix Orgmon to Ogremon. I don't care that they put it on the reference book. That's wrong. And two, I don't care if technically you can translate Han as San. That one grates me very specifically, because that's more of a character thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Like if they're going to leave in Orgmon, fine, I'll live with it. The other one just annoys the shit out of me.
I think that was the first time I noticed they were even putting honorifics in the subtitles.
Because it was off, so it's easier to notice.
Yeah.
It's just, that one in particular, that's the one that just back of my head just making me scream. Let's see. We got the hints of Devimon. Was there anything else really in this episode to go over?
Those weren't hints. That wasn't a hint.
May, did you accidentally mute yourself again?
Pardon?
Did you mute yourself again, May?
No, I was replying to you.
Oh, it felt like you jumped in right, like in the middle of a sentence.
No, I replied to you directly after you said we got hints of Devimon.
Yeah,
and
it was.
That's not a hint.
It was not a hint. It was obvious foreshadowing.
Yeah, no. That was straight up Devimon. It wasn't just like some bats floating around.
No. When I say a hint of, I mean we didn't get much of him. It's just there's no personality to it, is what I mean. We fully saw him.
There wasn't much personality in the original series. We got a lot of them.
He was evil. That was his personality.
That's his personality. He was a bad guy. I hope they do a lot better with him this time around.
I wouldn't mind if he was just evil. I don't think every bad guy needs like a fully formed personality with a story explaining why they're evil and blah 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 blah.
Well, and the thing is, in this reboot is very story driven, and so far, the story with the explanation here, it's just sort of average to me. So anything they can do to prop up anything character story wise, it feels like it's getting to the point where that's necessary for me.
Maybe, but they could blow him up early enough that he won't matter.
That would be okay too.
Because he didn't really he did matter in the original series, but basically once he was gone, that was it. There was no relevance to him.
There are theories. There are a lot of fan theories about Devimon's
connection. There's a lot of fan theories about everything. I'm sure there's a fan theory about what. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Devimon was just he was sort of the tutorial villain of everything.
And then at the very end of the episode, and for episode 6, we finally get Mimi and Palmon.
Continuing the let's have every episode parallel its similarly numbered episode in the beginning.
Mimi is evil.
Mimi is episode 6.
And probably evil.
I hope she's the Digimon Kaiser.
That would be nice.
That actually was the setup, because it looks like she's brainwashing Sora and Piyomon.
Cool. I didn't watch the preview because
I didn't watch the preview either.
I just saw Mimi and was like, well, that's the end of the episode because I want to go. I just want to go straight into it next week. But
wow, you guys are good. You guys are good.
Evil.
You guys are going to be surprised when War Greymon shows up also.
Oh, no, I'm never surprised for War Greymon. Yeah, it's like a new Omegamon.
Yeah. If Omegamon showed up next episode, I wouldn't be surprised at this point. But Mimi showing up, I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah,
I totally welcome our Mimi Overlord, by the way.
I will say, skipping talking about the preview, since neither of you guys watched it, like you said, that run animation for Palmon was really nice. Her running to Mimi.
How come the Palmon but the whole last Palmon bit was the best I mean, I love the animation. I'm not one of the people who's
it wasn't that good. But it wasn't that good.
The Palmon one was much better. I don't know why. We're just
May.
The way she just jumps out of a bush. It was great.
I'm pretty sure if it was just construction paper moving left and right, you'd say Palmon had the best animation.
Yeah, because Palmon is the best. Anything that she's in, I think about the fact that meat in the digital world is vegan a lot, as well.
I mean, that doesn't mean it's vegan. They could just bury the corpse of something.
No, but it wouldn't have grown like that. So it's definitely vegan. Meat is definitely vegan in the digital world.
Are we having a discussion over meat farms in a discussion while discussing an episode that did not feature meat farms?
Yes, I have a lot of feelings about Tanemon and Palmon. They're my favorites. I'll die for them.
Well, next episode, if they're actually at a meat farm, we can have a conversation about the logistics of meat farms, but that would distract us from talking about Mimi, so think carefully about your choices.
Yeah, May has problems.
No, I'm just now distracted by the thoughts of Palmon, and I'm going to ask Brady if he can draw me Palmon, because I get him to draw things for me. He drew a Sobble for me once.
Wait, you only thought to have him draw Palmon now?
Yeah, because
you talk about Palmon every day. Half of our conversations is Palmon or Mimi related.
Because Palmon's the fucking best.
No, but I'm saying it never occurred to you to ask him to draw Palmon before?
No, I mean he doesn't draw. He's not an artist. I just like him drawing things for me.
I like that we've officially spent more time on this podcast talking about Palmon than we've talked about Agumon and Tentomon combined.
But that's because Palmon's the best. Her voice is the best. Her everything's the best. She's a nice color. She's cute. She's my best friend. I love her.
You know what? Even in this episode, I would not disagree with you on that. Piyomon in this episode, I would have an issue with, because Piyomon was looking awesome in this episode.
Last episode was Sora and the Knife. And this time it's just Palmon's the best despite only being there for 30 seconds. I woke up the next day. I woke up Monday morning about to record a podcast, and all these people had tweeted at me saying, well, Palmon and Mimi showed up, so I guess May's over there screaming in Australia. I'm like, yes, I was. Yes, I am.
I'm mentally distracted because the honorific still actually upsets me a little bit.
Oh, yes, Han being written as San, it shat me too, because
that one. Yeah, that one just actually annoys me and is distracting me from pushing forward, so we're not here for 2 hours.
I honestly saw Palmon sticking her head out when I first saw that scene, and it was like, oh, thank God, finally some good food.
I made a GIF of that because I needed to. I didn't make any GIFs until I made those GIFs, and I was like, oh, well, I can't just have all my GIFs just be Palmon and Mimi, can I?
Yeah, you can.
I just love her. She's the royal she. She's so great.
This episode, you're allowed.
And I think it's time to move on to the news before we get even more distracted.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll find more ways to bring up power.
So move on to the news.
Anyway, long story short, that was a mediocre episode. We hope for better because Mimi's in next week.
It was good enough. Bandai announced their Play Anime live stream. They have not announced anything Digimon, and they will not comment on what it actually has. I have tried. They will not actually answer yes or no. So we will see. If it's just a Cyber Sleuth commercial, I will laugh because they've done that multiple times. They've done that multiple times in the last week, in fact, where
Adventure
there's something.
PSP re-release.
What was that?
Adventure PSP re-release.
Hey, we've joked about it before and said how unlikely it is unless they need to fill a schedule hole. That may actually have happened at this point.
Just hope it gets an English release this time.
And then we get the day they went crazy and announced 2 live streams at once. So first up, Digi Fest 2020 is back in online, which this one's weird because as far as we're aware, this is not we were going to do a live event and now we're doing an online one. This is just we've decided to do an online event. Because by the time...
It's hard to say if it was going to be...
Well, here's the thing. Remember, originally, they didn't announce it even before everything went to hell, and the Olympics were supposed to be this summer in Japan, which would have created issues with doing stuff.
Yeah, Odaiba's occupied in August this year.
They very well may have done like a smaller Digimon Thanksgiving type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But so this time it will be August 1st. They will stream it. Hopefully not geolocking it, which is always a pain in the ass. This time we get a discussion with the cast of Kazuna, various live video distributions, and the latest information. We have 3 guests.
A lot of focus on Kazuna and the old thing, and not as much rebooty stuff, it would seem.
Well, to be fair, it is a month before the home video release in Japan.
Yeah.
Hey guys, remember how it was meant to come out like today?
Oh, don't say that.
Sorry. Also, happy birthday, Mark, for today/tomorrow.
Thank you. I expect gifts from everyone.
It's the 7th here.
It's a gif of Palmon and Mimi.
I have so many of those. They're all on Twitter. I already posted them all. Happy
birthday. Have some Mimi.
Now, Ayumi Miyazaki will perform. They have Chika Sakamoto and Mayumi Yamaguchi credited as performing Agumon and Gabumon, so we're assuming it's what they've done before where the suits come out and the voices are just piped in, which I don't know why I love when they do that, but it's fun.
It is fun.
And then at the same time, they announced the DigiNavi, which is going to be 2 weeks before that, which comedian, actor, and so forth, Yuki Iwai is hosting it. Chiaki Matsuzawa, I always trip on her last name. There you go. We'll be hosting parts of it. Atsuhiro Tomioki, the series composer of Digimon Adventure, will also be there. Agumon will be there, voiced by Chika Sakamoto. Kokoro will show up yet again. They've been showing up in a lot of stuff, and I keep waiting for them to show up on the show. Because they've been cameoing so much, it feels like that has to happen at some point.
There's going to be some sort of comedy duo Digimon that shows up later on
and it's going to be them.
It's going to be those two, and they're going to get their asses kicked, and it'll be funny.
Yeah. There'll be various information on goods and anime, and they hint something special at the end, some sort of special announcement, which...
Digimon MOBA.
See, the problem now, Maze, is if it happens, we all get to blame you.
It's fine. I'll take that.
The really funny thing is, there's so many possibilities for special announcements that we really have no idea where to begin guessing which direction
you know what the funny thing is like I remember it came up, I think in the last episode there was the Pokemon announcement. People were like, "Oh, the Digimon announcement tomorrow's going to blow it away." I don't even remember whatever that stupid announcement was. I literally don't.
That was the anniversary.
Oh yeah, the renewal.
revival.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was amazing.
No, I knew it was also going to be
it's always disappointing.
Like, oh, ours is going to be crap.
My favorite thing about the streams where someone went, and multiple people have actually done this, where Habu is not listed for Diginavi, they will not have news on Survive. Habu was at the first Diginavi and we still didn't get news on Survive. He read off a cue card information we already had for half a year.
Maybe he won't be at this one and they'll still have information on Survive.
Yeah, there is that other producer who likes showing up with goggles. I don't remember his name, though. Yeah, so
we're gonna this guy, maybe that guy shows up and says, look, here's the release date, we're gonna make Habu finish it by then.
Yeah. So we have 2 live streams in the next month. It feels like there has to be something substantial in at least one of these. Doesn't it? Like something?
Yeah, I have more faith in having something for the Diginavi, honestly. I think the Digi Fest, I'm not so sure it's going to have anything really incredible.
Digi Fest is generally where we will get 1 or 2 big things, even when there's not big things to announce.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to remember the sort of stuff we had announced at a proper Digi Fest.
I mean, that the last one was that the O2 kids were showing up.
Oh yeah, that was okay.
And the year before,
then that was sort of expected.
Yeah, but we also got the Taichi and Agumon figure, which was nice. You just don't care about that.
That's fair. That's true.
Yeah. So we'll see. So one of these have to have something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we say that, and then a month from now, they didn't have shit. So moving on from that, but a bit more for DigiFest. They're doing multiple polls for Adventure, O2, Trine, Kizuna. Each one will just poll for a few days, and the winner of each one will be integrated into the Digimon card game. The current polls for Digimon Adventure, it closes July 9th.
So get your vote in before the inevitable winner is the last episode.
Yeah. I will say the choices they made this time, I feel like there's only one choice that really, maybe 2, I would say, have no real chance, minus just people going, ooh, I'm going to vote for that. I'd say all but 2 could potentially win. The Dark Cave, I feel like that one, yeah.
Yeah, it's such a good moment, but that never wins.
And I feel like Pumpmon and Gatsumon feels like the booby prize, sort of, where it could win, but probably not.
Yeah, it's. I also think that the Devimon Angemon sacrificing himself, I'm surprised that never does better, because that one never does well in these.
That one never does well because it's always up in like the what's the best scene of all time type things.
Right. Yeah, and you feel like that one should be considered more, but it just doesn't hold up, honestly.
I think that's why it's included here, is it holds up in the sense of being in the top 8 that they're willing to deal with.
Oh no, it's top 8. It's fair.
Yeah, so we'll see what
it's in the conversation, but it's just there's so many other better scenes.
And then we get.
I like my favorite episodes. I don't think my favorite episodes are even there.
Well, to be fair, it's not really meant to be favorite episodes. It's meant to be like the touching scenes.
Yeah.
Type thing.
Yeah, my favorite episodes aren't usually there, but my favorite episodes don't have those pivotal moments.
My favorite scenes, my most touching scene isn't even there either. And my the touching scene for me is when I'm going to talk about Palmon again.
Yeah, I already know what scene it is.
In Flower Power, when Mimi activates her sincerity for the second time and Togemon evolves, and it's still a really cool moment, and her parents are the best.
That's my favorite episode in Adventure as well. But
it's like my second favorite episode in Adventure.
It just doesn't have that moment is good, but it just doesn't it's just not up there with the rest of these that are on the list.
I don't know. That moment's pretty strong.
It is strong. It is a good moment,
and yet not strong enough to even be in the official conversation. That's also, why you have to talk about it here.
But why does Pumpmon and Gutsumon? I feel like the introduction of Pumpmon and Gutsumon is a weird sort of.
Because it's the booby prize choice. It's the one that's there because it's the joke moment that everyone remembers.
Yeah, but
is that
they could have put a...
Oh, there's better choices. But I'm saying that is the booby prize moment. That's the one that doesn't really fit, but if you think about it a bit, you can understand why, but it's not really shouldn't be there.
I could go into deep length about why that moment is so important, but
I like the moment where they say, "Hey, we
AR,
don't actually want to be bad
do,
guys."
I'll make you read the products.
No, I'm not going to because I don't care that much. Like, I'm with you though. It's like it's not. It really it does seem weird that is elevated to the extent that it always is.
Yeah, I think it's it's not that it's become more relevant in recent years. It's become more of a known scene joke thing, where that's why they can include it because it's been pulled so much lately that it has more of a relevance than it used to.
Also because any time that they do anything involving the area of Shibuya, they immediately have to be involved.
Yes.
Like, it's just a rule. Including the Frontier audio drama.
Yeah. And now they went nuts with products over the last week. So the Shikishi art came out and we got to see all of them. And to no one's surprise, although it feels like a lot of people were surprised, the mystery one's Omegamon. I feel like a lot of people... Sorry, go ahead.
Were people surprised, really?
Yeah, they seem to be. I think because the lineup was so specific to the 8 and their partners, they thought maybe it would be like just Taichi and Agumon or something like that.
Mm.
But Omegamon is like the obvious choice. We finally got to see better images of the keychains, which came out, and for basically $2.50, these actually look really nice. Like, significantly better than I thought from when we first saw them a few months ago. I feel like if cases of these could be ordered, people order a lot of these, but otherwise, hard to say. The Ichiban Kuji Lotto. That Omegamon figure, tons of people are already planning to import that because that actually really does look good, and I admit I will try to track that down if I can. I really like that figure. Yeah, because this is where basically you walk into a store, you hand them the 780 yen, you reach in, you pull out a ticket, you open it up, and you get told what prize you win. And yeah, it makes sense that Omegamon's the top prize.
Oh, yeah.
And a special version of the figure for the last one prize, and a version of the figure for the Double Chance campaign. They clearly know who people want.
I mean, that's a pretty nice figure, considering the stakes of gambling for it.
Yeah.
Like, I'd put in for a chance at something along those lines. Like, there aren't too many bad options here.
Yeah, the worst option is the rubber strap.
Yeah.
I
feel like I've paid that much for a rubber strap before.
Yeah, that is the, in theory, idea behind these is there actually is no junk prize. The minimum thing is something you would expect to pay roughly that amount for anyways. So now the interesting thing is a lot of times these figures, at least from other brands, actually do show up as normal items at some stores internationally. So we may very well just be able to pay $20 or $30 for the figure and be done with it. Although I want to see what the other two Omegamons look like before I make any bad decisions. Then we got... See, I thought these were reversible, but people pointed out that the silhouettes are actually the same. So I wonder if it's lenticular, the keychains. I don't know. They may have just flipped the art. And then they've done it before is a case for an iPhone based on Koshiro's computer. This time with the Tachikawa computer logo. But it only is one case that will only fit a handful of phones, so most people cannot take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember who it was. It might have been DevQ. She was I don't remember if it was her or someone else, where they're actually saying they may decide on their next phone if it will fit the case and if they can get a hold of one. Which is a bit too far for me personally.
Yeah, like let's downgrade to an iPhone 8 just to.
Well, to be fair, it does work with the new SE at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this was one that I remember it went up, and I think there was a message from May 10 seconds later just going, oh shit, I need it. The bath salt surprise eggs.
That's for everything. That's for everything that comes out. I say, oh shit, I need it. But yeah, also the bath salts, they'll give me life.
Yeah. So
have you burned through your Atmon ones already?
Yeah, really quickly. It was back when it was back before I moved out. So it was like that was over 2 years ago now. It would have been 3 years ago I used them. Because it was back when I lived with my parents because they had a bath.
There you go. Now you can stock up again.
Yeah. So they're chamomile bath salts, and inside is a tiny Digivice keychain thing. What's funny is this is more what I expected what the actual keychains to look like, which just like the very basic ones. And what I would like to, I hope we get snapshots of it is if you use a Bandai augmented reality app and aim it at the Digivice, you apparently get like an evolution scene that will appear on the Digivice through the phone. So I'm curious to see.
And nudes. I'm going to have evolving Digimon on my titties.
See, now you're gonna
be on someone's OnlyFans in a month.
Yeah, May's gonna have.
I'm gonna have an OnlyFans just for that.
May's gonna have to be very careful taking snapshots to show this.
Careful, schmareful. I'm gonna charge for.
Oh fuck! See, and people wonder why I will make jokes at May's expense. She makes them at our expense, and she makes them at her own expense. Can we say how
I fucking like money.
I will say though, can they fix the Palmon sprite?
Yes, talking about Palmon again. All right, yep, Palmon's great.
Yeah, let's talk about Palmon some more.
No,
good idea, Mark.
No, because that one's actually been broken for like 10 years since they used the wrong sprite in I think it was redigitized. It was output corrupted or something, so the colors are wrong.
It's actually Alraumon, and they've just haven't been telling anybody.
I was just about to say that, and was like, oh, it could just be alternate one.
Yeah, what if Mimi had an Alraumon instead of a Palmon this season?
Okay, on to the boxer briefs. Look, it's underwear.
Oh, I want them. I want these boxer briefs.
May, I have to point out, you cannot buy children's underwear, May. I feel like I feel like that's where the line has to be drawn.
Look, to me. You're implying that I don't own small boys' underwear that fit me. Like, here's the problem with AR's point of, oh, that sounds like a challenge. I may be saying it purely to try to harass her into buying them as a gag. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking find if they fit me, and then if the various sizes are available,
what part of this conversation implied that?
They will definitely support my badonkadonk.
That May needed harassment in order to order these.
Yeah, I just gotta. As I said, various sizes are available, and if there's one that can support my badonkadonk, I will get them.
They will do so willingly.
I can't wait because I don't have the other end.
See, sometimes I worry I have the worst judgment out of us, and I feel like it's definitely May.
Yeah. Also, those gummies also give me life because they were actually fairly tasty.
Yeah, we'll see what. That's the thing is we don't actually. They call them like Series 2, but they don't actually specify if it's just the same gummies with different stickers or if it's gonna be like the Crest of Friendship and it's gonna be blueberry flavored.
Also, I feel like I pre-ordered these like 2 weeks ago.
It's possible.
Yeah, I did. Cool.
And then we got a 360 view of Imperial Dramon, which, yay! We'll talk more about him later. And then this one was more interesting because it was significantly different what we knew Saturday night and what we know now. So we got the little video they put up with a bunch of adventure stuff, including socks and pajamas, which, May, you can look into the pajamas, I'm sure.
I fucking love pajamas, especially because it's fucking cold.
And the video's narrated by Taichi and Agumon. And it's not a very... It's an interesting promo video. I'm not sure it's good, though. Because after about 30 seconds, they give up, and it just ends up being commercials and cards. And then we found out Tree Village had a bunch of stuff we hadn't seen. And today we got a bunch more information about it. And they have a bunch of exclusive stuff from Fuji TV, which just a lot of it, actually. And poor May's going to have to figure this out. Because coasters and school supplies.
I like the coasters.
Fucking love school. I love coasters and I love school supplies so much.
I do like school supplies too. Yeah.
Oh man, my partner's not going to be happy when I get all these boxes delivered to the house. Like, I'm already not sure how he's going to handle all the booster boxes that are coming in the mail.
So, good luck with your upcoming notepads, May.
Yeah, I mean, Digimon's going to cause like a second divorce and we're not even married.
I'm trying to decide if that's a joke or not, to be honest.
Yeah, like, you know that like really old green text meme, which is about the divorce that the Digimon movie caused or something? Because like some parents had like took their kid there and it like...
Yeah, I honestly...
They got divorced shortly after.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
I remember it, but I really don't even think about it because nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, I think about it every day, but yeah, it's nonsense.
Yeah,
it's fun.
And it was mostly Angela Anaconda's fault, as I recall.
Yeah, but fucked up if true.
Yeah, yes.
And then the crowdfunding for the Rayon League cover album went up. It is all new artwork for the product, and you actually can do it outside of Korea, basically anywhere except Japan.
This stuff looked better than I expected.
I think the thing that everyone was surprised by how nice it looked was the phone grip thing, where it's the little flat Digivice.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that actually does look nice. Yeah.
That's actually really an effective way to use that Digivice design.
I feel like it would actually work better with the new one because it doesn't have the little antenna that's going to, like, whack someone's finger.
Yeah, for sure. But either way, just that basic frame it suits that really well.
Yeah. When I first saw this, I actually had to check because it feels very much like what we saw at the music cafes. I had to like double check that these weren't just like redos from something with the little logo on it.
I like I think it's cool they put all the Digimon on musical instruments, although...
Yeah, that's why I thought it might have been reused.
Poor Patamon stuck on the melodica.
To be fair, what else would he be able to play?
I mean, I question everyone's ability to play their certain instruments, including Agumon singing. But yeah,
to be fair,
Patamon just doesn't get a cool instrument.
To be fair, over 20 years we have multiple songs where Agumon sings, so that has already been done.
Not well.
I didn't say well. I just said he could sing. There's a difference.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about a functional ability to play an instrument to,
my favorite's Tentomon. Just like he has basically one finger on each hand. It's just going to be chopsticks.
He can almost play chopsticks.
Yeah, so that goes until August 14th, and outside of Japan, anyone can sign up.
Tailmon, her scratching ability on the record would be good.
It would be better if she took off her gloves, though.
Yeah, I suppose.
And then lots of am I wrong, or does the art keep getting crazier on these? Like, the art just gets nicer and nicer. I'm not even sure Diablomon looks nice and creepy. It's even hard to comment on them because there's just so many, but they all look like good. I'm trying to see if I can find like one standout that I really like. I'm going to... Oh, Pinocchiomon.
Yeah, Pinocchio.
That
one jumps out at me.
Yeah, that is some good creepy ass artwork.
Metal Seedramon's pretty cool too.
Yeah. I keep trying to decide if some of the ones in the Evolution families are going with a theme, or if it's just the artist doing the same type of setup on some things. I don't know. It will be interesting to see if we end up getting any like art spreads between cards, because it feels like a few of them have gotten close to that. Fun Digica episode 23 was just a preview of a bunch of cards. They made a mistake originally, so it got re-uploaded later. Episode 8 was of Card Battle was an exhibition match between card player Ogawa and Yuki Oi, who's hosting the next Digi Fest. And then the Precious Gem, Imperial Dramon, which you mentioned, can be pre-ordered now. The price on this is not as, because we only first saw this 2 weeks ago, I think, because it was the last episode, the last issue of V-Jump. We did not know this existed basically 2 weeks ago. So the price isn't bad. It's the size. I could go, oh, it's my birthday, I'm going to order this. It's the size that I don't think I can deal with, though. It's just too big. I don't know. Nice figure, but size is iffy. Now, this is one I would assume you definitely are not ordering, right, May?
The Imperial Digimon, I came close to pre-ordering, but I can't just justify the size, and also the price. I mean, I have my Old Force coming hopefully one day.
Same.
But, I just can't justify another huge figure with another huge price.
Yeah, it's 22 inches from front to back. That's just
same.
This is way like the Digimon one. That is very much a vertical design, like the Omegamon figure. I could find space for that. That's just a pain.
The Dukemon that I have, the Dukemon Crimson Mode.
That one's very wide, I think.
Fucking big. I kind of hate it. It's just sort of sitting there, and it was too expensive for me not just to put away. I think the Beelzemon also was too big. That lives in storage somewhere, but
that was also expensive as hell. That one.
Yeah, I have the Impmon on display, but actually the Beelzemon is just.
You're talking about the original Beelzemon.
Yeah. The original Beelzemon.
You're talking, the blast mode. I thought you meant the
No, not the one with the motorbike.
Okay, yeah, that one is expensive to a completely different degree.
No, I'm talking about the Crimson Mode one is just so wide and it takes up so much space.
Yeah.
And I already don't know where I'm going to put Old Force because Greymon's fucking huge and he takes up space as well.
Now,
I don't even know where Ty is. I think Ty's fallen off him.
Now, if they do fighter mode, me and May have problems because that one we may not be able to talk ourselves out of due to the front to back.
I'd wait for the Paladin mode just so they can get another Omegamon.
So, okay, but that will still be the fighter mode figure, so I'm still technically right on that one. It's just going to be the same.
Paladin mode is white.
It's going to be the exact same figure, except they're going to glue a sword to his hand.
And make him white.
Yeah. And then we get a few new re-rise characters. Metalmon we already knew, but we get the nice Bandai style art.
I love re-rise. I love the characters. I love Bearmon. He makes me so happy.
I know.
Bearmon is the partner to Kazuma, who we met a month and a half ago or so, I want to say. He was just I
barely remember because he had that really generic design, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we also get to meet Eiji Futama, who a new part-timer Truffle. Gee, that's not a new part-timer. That means he's either going to get a Digimon or he's secretly the villain.
I like that he's a graduate student and he's stuck working a waiter job. That's a mood right there.
He's going to die after saving one of the kids from falling, isn't he?
Or he's going to get a Digimon.
And then die when he saves one of the kids from falling.
Mm.
And Genai and Daisuke will be there. And then on to the artwork. The Tentomon social art is actually from 2 years ago. They just
that one looked familiar.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was for, but that one is a pre-existing image. And then Kenji Watanabe put up an image this time that no one can have any doubts what it is. There's no arguing about the coloring this time. This one, Koshiro and Tentomon basically doing I never remember what that painting is.
Oh, Birth of Man?
Is that the one I'm thinking of? I always forget the one where, Birth of Man, I think it is, where they're reaching for each other.
Chapel?
I don't remember at the moment. I get to ignore pretending I know this stuff because I'm Jewish.
I didn't realize that was the loophole to getting out of Renaissance art.
That's the loophole that
I'm atheist. Can I also get out of knowing things?
Same.
You're welcome to try.
Oh.
Jewish works as a better excuse, though.
Well, next time I apply for Jeopardy, I'll say I don't need to know these categories because I'm atheist.
Yeah. Call the religion card.
Yeah, the art's good, and a good chunk of the message was actually him talking about Kazama and AIM talking at the same time with how long their lines were. Because they did record them together, which
I've talked to voice actors about that. It is a pain in the ass to record.
Yeah, and that's literally every line they have, which is fun, I'm sure. And I believe Kenji Watanabe mentioned this was the first time he was actually there for the recording.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's interesting. And then the thing we all deeply want to talk about, the 10th anniversary of Cross Wars.
I actually do like Cross Wars just a little bit.
Yeah, Cross Wars is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't mean that facetiously. I mean we all do want to talk about Cross Wars.
Do we?
Oh yeah.
I don't necessarily want to talk about it. Like it's fun. Like I have nothing against Cross Wars. We can do Cross Wars. Yeah.
Sparrowmon is just is like imagine Palmon was a bird.
Sparrowmon is not important enough to show up in the fancy animated artwork they put up.
Well, they only did Cross 4.
Yeah, that's like the first chunk of the series when Nene's still being edgy before we see her have Sparrowmon who is bloodthirsty.
So good.
Nene was much better when she went from edgy to just like trying to think of the term I want to use.
Wacky in the second season, but when she just I have all these outfits now.
She was more. Where
did this come from?
Because I think the idea was she was being serious because she had something very specific and important to do, and she didn't really want to do it, and she was just being unemotional doing it.
To be fair, the thing is that serious thing didn't exactly go away. It's not like that they did not actually rescue you between seasons 1 and 2. She still had that secret job to do.
Yeah, but I mean in the sense
she just was doing it with the good guys in the second half.
Yeah.
And actually, most of the first half as well.
So yeah, Cross Wars was weird in that first digital HD. It's not the exact art style classic, but it more fits in with that vein. Chika Sakamoto got an important character to play who was not Agumon related.
Shoutmon's a better character than Agumon anyway. Fight me.
I agree.
I'm just looking at the poster with all the different characters on it and remembering how much I really do want Blu-rays of the show because it's the first show where it actually matters.
I'm just staring at that Cross 4 GIF. It's really cool.
I made someone help to make sure that would show up correctly. Because otherwise I would have had to click it off when I was switching cards. So that's actually a video running as if it were a card.
How
the
about
entire
that?
card?
I like it.
An actual video running on our video stream. Woo!
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want Blu-rays announced for Cross. It's the first time that Blu-rays actually matter for the show.
I just want a DVD release in Australia of the series.
You just want
which I don't think we'll ever get.
You just want a Blu-ray announcement because they'd skip Savers to do it, and everyone would get really upset.
That's sad. I like Savers.
I like Savers too.
No, be honest. I would not be shocked if on August 1st we find out they're doing Savers Blu-rays. That would be one of my guesses at what will be announced.
That's fair. That would be a good announcement for a DigiNavi, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I would expect that at
Digi Fest. Digi Fest, I meant.
Yeah. But yeah, if you were to we'll move on from that, and while they think of questions, we can kind of go over this a little bit. If you were to ask me what do I think might show up at Digi Fest, Savers Blu-ray, I would not be shocked if a movie of some sort is announced, and we'll not go into it further than that, but it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, it feels like they could be at that point.
Yeah.
Well, but am I misremembering this, or was there like another story game that wasn't Cyber Sleuth that they were going to be working on, or was that Hacker's Memory? I just can't remember.
Habu announced it like 3 years ago at this point that they're working on another story game, and he keeps talking about it when he should be talking about other games.
Yeah, that was supposed to be the one that Survive was going to be in between between the two story games, and then Survive's taking forever, so we don't know what's up with this story game.
I'd like another story game. I'm actually playing through Hacker's Memory. I haven't actually finished Hacker's Memory, so I'm playing through it at the moment. I'm enjoying it more than the first one. There's Digimon in it, so that's probably why.
I believe literally the list of things we know for that story game is they're aiming at PS4 era stuff as the lead rather than the Vita, and it has the digital world. That's about it. We're still waiting for Survive at this point.
I've been playing after the question we had a couple of weeks ago. I've been playing Disgaea.
Well, you are playing Digimon Survive. How is it?
I am playing Digimon Survive. That's right. It's really a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I like.
Have any Digimon shown up yet?
Yeah, there's a lot of Penguinmon in this game, and I did not know that if you threw them, they self-destructed. That's not part of the Digimon lore that I remember.
Real talk now. I fucking hate that little penguin dude. I played that spin-off game, and his voice just shits me.
That's not a huge surprise, dude.
Dude.
Fuck!
See, I was gonna let that go until you said dude, May.
You said dude,
I was gonna let it go.
Come on, dude.
So let's go ahead and go to the questions. The first one, which was sent ahead of time, which was make AR answer the movie question he missed. This is from when you weren't in an episode. What is a good movie and a bad movie you'd recommend people watch?
I'm gonna actually pick a cult classics for both of these. The good movie is, if you have not seen Clue, do yourself a favor. Come on. Clue is
now
I really
wait,
Clue.
which are you saying Clue is?
Originally I was gonna say it counts for both. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's good. I don't know if it's really good. It's good enough for, like, it has such great dialogue.
Yes, it does.
Great exchanges in that movie. Like, the story itself doesn't hold up at all, but the exchanges.
To be fair, it's not really. I don't think the story really is meant to hold up in that one.
The directors say it's supposed to work with all three endings. It does not at all. But that's okay.
Yeah, okay. And your bad movie?
My bad movie is kind of sticking with the cult movies from the 80s with a gaming mentality.
No.
What?
Fuck.
What?
Please don't say The Wizard.
No, I'm going to say Midnight Madness. This is a movie from the early 80s. It's actually Michael J. Fox's movie debut. It's sort of an overnight scavenger hunt between 5 college teams. It is a crap movie, but it's just a lot of fun, and it's great riffing off of it.
I remember that. That's the one that people always. I don't remember the movie, but I remember people always say it's a board game movie.
It's not quite a board game movie because they're driving around LA doing, like, solving scavenger hunt clues. You know, it's super formulaic and all that, and it's not a good movie by any stretch, but it's very riffable. And
that makes sense.
A lot of fun. It has a lot of fun moments in it, and it's been a childhood favorite. And I hunted down the DVD a while ago, and it's just a fun watch.
Okay. Task one from the chat. Corey Lou asks, Tamer sequel announced at Digi Fest 2020?
No.
Yeah, I know.
No.
And then let's see. Someone asked, what video players do you watch the show on? I assume they're asking what we stream Adventure on. This is one where the person did not specify, and I
would assume that's what they meant.
Yeah. Apple TV connected to my TV most of the time.
Yeah, I do I actually just do the Crunchyroll app on my laptop. Holds up pretty well. I don't need it. I don't need an experience.
The Windows 10 app?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that works fine. It used to be crap, but it seems to work fine now.
Yeah, the Windows 10 app works okay. I don't love the phone app, and I hate how it casts, but the Windows 10 app seems to hold up okay. It holds up better than anything else I've done with Crunchyroll before.
Okay, May, what do you watch on?
I use Anime Lab on either my TV or just on my computer.
Okay.
Depending on if I want to make GIFs immediately or not. Sometimes I'll watch it on the TV first and then on the computer to make GIFs, and other times I'll just watch it on the TV because it's got the Anime Lab app on it on the TV.
Yeah, that makes sense. And Ramon wants to know, why are Digimon phone cases for iPhone and not Android? They actually have before. The issue is more that it's hard to hit the wide distribution for like a branded case generically for Android unless you make a... What was the one we saw? It was like the book and you stick the phone to it that they did a few times.
Oh yeah, I think they're called universal multi-phone cases.
Yeah.
They did a couple of those.
Yeah, but like for example, the current one's made for the SE and it just happens to fit the 7 and 8. It's like I have an iPhone and that won't fit mine. It just happens to fit it's for the newest lower price iPhone. It just happens to be close enough to two others that will fit there. But anyone else, even with an iPhone's out of luck on that because they're not making multiple designs. This one I liked, and May saw some of the messages. What do you say to fandom groups who thought you were reporting real Digimon Survive news? I would say... I
don't think anybody thought you were being serious.
Some people clearly were, or some people were, more people were just randomly upset about it, which was hilarious to me.
I have no idea. It was an obvious joke.
It wasn't even a good joke. It was like...
No, it wasn't a good joke. It was just
but
weird
like
joke.
But like that was the thing, and it was something that I even mentioned to May. It's like I purposely went for like there's no possible way someone can misconstrue this as mean-spirited or not a joke or whatever. And people are like, this has offended me. He's insulting something that people are looking forward to. It's like
people do that.
No, that's the point. Let's like get a fucking sense of humor or personality. What was that, AR?
I did not make a comment on that.
Oh, I heard you go like or something. I thought you were saying something.
I was getting a drink.
Oh, okay. And let's see. Oh, Joe wants to know, what battle moments in particular did we like in Cross Wars?
This is a good question.
Sparrow. But when she shows up and she just destroys everything. I love it.
See, my moment's kind of a cheat because it feels like the one most people will remember. When all the Digimon start appearing from the Digi memories.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
And like the music rises up, and then they evolve into, or they cross into 7 superior mode. It's just such a good moment.
Mm-hmm. I like that moment.
Oh, that's a good one too. I like the Omega Shoutmon Tactimon fight at the end of season 1.
Oh yeah, that was good. Also.
I really like that one. That was a really good one. I also am a sucker for the Love Dance episode. That episode was just hysterical to me, to the point where I actually asked when I did that panel with all the voice actors, they were talking about having to. We were talking earlier about having to sync each other up and having to talk in unison and how difficult a dubbing process that was, and a bunch of the actors were talking about how the DNA forms had trouble doing that. Paul and Derek, Stephen Prince were having to do that, and then my ass chimes in with calling out Derek and Colleen about having to dub the Love Dance sequence when nobody in the audience cared about fusion.
Let's see. Okay, here's a good one from Ian. How do you feel about the subtitles using Chosen Ones rather than Chosen Children Digidescent? I think that was a subtitle mistake. I think it was something like the person read it and didn't realize it was an actual thing that's already there and just changed it to a more generic, this makes more sense type thing.
Yeah, I think going with Chosen Ones over Chosen Children I didn't like. I would have kept Chosen Children at least. I think that was a mistake. If they don't want to stick with Digidestined this season, I get that. I don't mind trying to change that for this, but they should have at least done Chosen Children.
Yeah, I think that was just whoever was doing it just saw it as a generic prophecy thing and didn't realize there was actually franchise relevance to it.
Now you're going to make me go and check when Leviathan said it in Appmon. He said that in one episode, referred to the app drivers as Eribare Shikoda Motachi, and I wonder how they translated that one.
I think it said Chosen Children.
I think it was Chosen Children too, but
yeah.
I kind of want to know, but I'm also don't feel like looking it up right now.
Let's see. And then someone sent in and asked, we all seem put together well. How do we deal with stress, depression, burnout, stuff like that? We do. We appear put together well.
Yeah, what? Yeah. I am glad we give off that impression.
Yeah, I'm so glad I give off that impression.
Yeah. I kind of wonder if this question was meant as a troll. I put it because I felt like if someone asked, maybe they needed an answer.
No, we'll keep the facade up for a little while and answer the question seriously. I think would be my advice. Be willing to take a step back, and if you're getting overwhelmed with certain things and they're not obligations, take a break. Like I was during the hiatus, I tried to withdraw from a lot of superfluous fandom activity.
Well, that's
just sort of did other stuff for a little while.
Yeah, that's also why. And this was what question I actually didn't include, but it actually ties in where someone goes, "Why aren't you involved with all the Twitter art events and week X and month Y?" It's because I'd kill myself if I tried to keep up with all of those, to be honest.
Yeah,
because they never stop. That's one thing where that's how you avoid burnout and even stress and depression and that stuff is you got to know when to not necessarily walk away, but go, other people have this handled. I can not do that.
Yeah, like I did that. There was that series of essay prompts leading up to the Japanese debut of Kizuna, where write something, write a prompt for every day in February until the Kizuna debut. That wore me out to do that.
Yeah.
So it's like there were other ones that have come up since then. I'm like, no, I'm gonna skip this one.
Yeah. You'd also be everyone. Plus, everyone has someone to talk to. A lot of people talk to me. But, I will not necessarily rant, but rant at May a bit.
Yeah, and I like to think that I listen.
Yeah, and she'll rant back about other stuff, and that's one way you blow off steam is you just find someone to talk to.
Yeah. Really?
Now, to be clear, me and May do not rant at each other about each other. We're ranting just generically and blowing smoke.
You're ranting about me, yeah. I get it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Although I believe I did rant at May about her keys earlier today. It was
but that's completely reasonable.
Yeah, it was just like,
Brady
please get a silent keyboard. Please get a more silent keyboard. The keys are louder than you're talking. I can't filter them out.
Yeah. No, it's a problem. I do want to get a new keyboard one day. They're just expensive.
Yeah. Especially ones that are good mechanical switches, which you have. It just happens you have the hell switch. The only thing you could get worse is a Model M.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get that one then.
Oh no, that one Brady will murder you.
Oh yeah, he probably will. I think he's probably mentioned it before.
The buckling springs are louder than what you have now.
Cool.
But yeah, basically just find someone to talk to is for the actual question that was asked.
Or like an actual, psychologist. I go to one every month and I very much recommend it.
Then Fantasy World asks, do you think we'll eventually get to see two visuals, situational like in episode 1 and sequential like in episode 4 for each and all in Adventure? Yes, with an asterisk.
Not.
Oh, you think no AR?
I'm going to be honest. I think that sequential evolution sequence wars. I don't know. You might be right. Like, I don't know for sure. I just think that sequential thing is going to get really annoying after a while. Like, well, I think when they did it in this episode, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a recurring thing. Damn it.
Well, I think what they're just asking is will each character get both types at least once?
We have both.
Yeah, I would say yes with an asterisk, which is I still think
once I'm okay with. Yeah. Once I'm okay with.
Yeah. My asterisk is I would still say that I feel like we didn't get a substantial enough one for Birdramon. Because
I mean, I liked it.
It's not that I disliked it, but it's like if you look at, say, the Greymon one or the Kabuterimon one, they did decide to go with the theme of, like the flame, the phoenix out of the cloud, type thing. But it does mean that it felt different to me, but doesn't mean bad, just different. And we'll give them one more chance for questions, and then we'll call it. And next week we will have episode 6 to talk about, which I'm sure I will have to hit the mute button so we can eventually move on from Mimi and Palmon. And
hope it's a light news episode.
Yeah. And the funny, stretchy face Tanamons.
Oh, yeah.
Which in that thumbnail makes me so happy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll give them a couple more seconds and we'll call it. It is crazy how many products there were in the last week. I actually heard regarding how much news there was from Jeff. He was scrolling through to find the episode 5 preview, and he realized it was on page 2, and he was trying to figure out how I didn't die doing this stuff. Okay, it looks like there's no questions. So, AR, where can they find you?
Digimon.firstagent.net is the blog. First Agent ARP is my Twitter.
And May, where can they find you?
Lost in Translation on basically everything. I'm still trying to campaign for getting more subscribers on the YouTube for Lost in Translation Mon, so please subscribe.
Ignore her and subscribe here, where you can hear May and us.
But people already subscribed here if they're already listening to this, presumably. Also, I just realized you have 420 subscribers, so blaze it.
Did we say anything when we hit 69?
I don't think so, but I'm
disappointed in all of us. I'm disappointed in all of us.
It's okay. I had a friend in one of my fanfic related channels. One of my friends had hit 69 hits and posted a celebratory image of it in our channel, and we all appreciated it.
Yeah, okay. But I hit 609 the other day and posted a picture of me with a finger covering up the 0, and so I counted that. And also, I'm really upset because I missed 666. I've reached that overnight. Now I'm past it, and I also missed 669 because I got subscribers overnight.
Okay, so what May is saying is some of you need to unsubscribe so she can snapshot.
No, okay. I'm good.
We're all trying to say is we're all immature high schoolers.
No, just keep on subscribing until I have 1,069.
I'm a mature professional. I just choose to come down to your level.
That's fair.
Nice.
So we will catch you guys next time. Thanks for showing up. Bye.
Bye.